What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is Black Ink Crew Chicago season 7 episode 3. So listen, we start this episode off, we down to 9 mag. They're getting ready for a tattoo convention, and Ryan is like, listen, Don is going to open up his gym, but he's still working here, so we're going to give him a little bit of light because we know he got his other focus going on. He getting ready to open up his own establishment, his own business. So it is what it is. Charmaine is down at the studio doing her day job, but she's trying to get the squad back together. She's trying to bring everybody back together. So she ended up calling, and I'm going to be honest, I forgot what her name was, but her name is Heaven. She's one of the old tattoo artists, the one that was in used to walk the balls and was in the ballroom scene. And she's actually transitioning. So her name is Heaven now. And she agreed to come back and work part-time, but she said she's really focusing on her transition. She's getting ready to start the hormones. And she just got a lot of things going on, but she did agree to come back part-time. So I was like, okay. And she told us that, listen, I was putting on a good face for all of y'all, but I really just didn't feel comfortable in my skin. And once I started putting on wigs and wearing makeup, I felt good. I felt some kind of way about it. Then we down to the shop, and we have Don and Ryan talking to Ford. Come to find out, Ford ass ain't been home since he got into the argument with his girl down to the nail shop. Okay, he ain't been back home. He done checked into a hotel. He ain't even talking to her right now. And Ryan and Don are both telling him, listen, she dealing with these hormones. She pregnant. She got a lot going on. Like, at the end of the day, your job is to make sure that she is the least amount of stress as possible while she deals with this process. And Ford's thing is, listen, at the end of the day, I get it, I understand, but what I don't want to happen is I do not want my child to deal with the types of things that I had to deal with growing up. I don't want my child to see strife. I don't want my child to see a lot of arguing. And the best thing that I can do, since we can't seem to get along, every time we're around each other, it turns into an argument. The best thing that we could do is just not be around each other. I feel like that's the best option. Down to Second City, we got Kat there. Old girl showed up for her first day. What's her name? What's her name? Oh Lord. Anyway, y'all know who I'm talking about. The one that was in the shop before. It's her first day. She get down there and she is like, well, what is going on? Because ain't nobody here. The shop is empty. Ain't nobody at the reception desk. Nobody's in the boss's office. Like, what is really good? She said, I really hate to start off on a negative. Drea's her name. I really hate to start off on a negative note, but honestly, I feel like it's deja vu all over again. And this is why I left the first time, because we ain't had no direction. We ain't had nothing going on. Everybody was doing everything and moving in different directions. Now, some guy showed up that is Prince's brother. He does piercing, and hell, he had more appointments than everybody else in the shop put together, because there was only one other person in the shop, and he had appointments coming in back to back to back, which is a good thing. But the problem is, ain't nobody tell Kitty, the only person in the shop that's on the management team, that this new person was gonna be there. Kitty don't know nothing about him. She ended up being a receptionist, and she was like, that is not my job. That is not in my job description. That is not what I do. And basically, Drea and Kitty are like, listen, we really wish that Charmaine would let us help. Like, we can help. We can do something. We can do more than what we're doing. And we really, really, really we really wish that Charmaine would let us in. We know she got a lot going on. We know she's dealing with a lot. Charmaine eventually does show up, and she shows up like Queen Bee. Hey, how's everybody doing? What's going on? And she ends up bringing a potential new artist to give him a tour, and she's talking to him, and while she's talking to him, she gets the phone call from her dad. Her dad is not doing too well, and he basically tells her, listen, this is the end of the road for me. I have fought the good fight. The doctors have done all that they can do. He said, I have never felt this bad in my life, and I just don't think I'm going to recover. Which, of course, caused Charmaine to have a total breakdown, which I would have had a total breakdown as well. I cannot imagine getting that type of a phone call. But Kitty says, listen, Charmaine, we are here. You have a squad. Like, you do not have to do all of this alone. Now, in Charmaine's mind, she doesn't want to do a repeat of what she did with her mom. She said, when my mom passed, I shut down and everything suffered as a result. Um, but Miss Kitty is like, I think she's using the shop and all these other things as a distraction from dealing with what's going on. And I can agree with Miss Kitty on that. I can agree that although I understand where Charmaine is coming from, and yes, you got to do what you have to do, but at the end of the day, and on the flip side of that, you have to. The problem the last time was that you didn't have good people around you, and they dropped the ball, and y'all didn't communicate well, and it was a lot of misunderstanding and miscommunication. Whereas this time, I feel like we're not going to have that. I feel like Kitty really wants to do what's in your best interest, and Kitty really wants to be there for you. Um, but again, she's gonna have to figure that out probably the hard way. Now down to the studio. Ford's in the studio. He said, "Listen, when I'm in this, everything that's going on with us, all the arguing and fighting, it's not a good thing. It doesn't put me in a good space. Mentally, it doesn't put me in a good space, and I just choose to just disengage. I come to the studio to blow off some steam, to get it off my chest." So while he at the studio, his baby mama is trying to text him. She is blowing him up. He ain't responding. So she finally sends him a text and says, "Yeah, I think it's best that I move out because you ignore me. This is not okay. I'm feeling some kind of way, so I'm just going to have to move out. It is what it is. I'm out. Peace." So he goes in the booth to do a song. I mean, granted, the lyrics have a lot to do with what's going on, but sir, your baby mama just said she moving out. So he gets to the apartment. By the time he gets to the apartment, she done packed up. Like, I don't know who she had helping her. She must have called 2 guys in a truck and they packed it all up. I don't know. She must have immediately, sent them the deposit and the whole, because they was in there. I mean, and Ford had a nerve to have an attitude talking about something. So you were just going to leave without saying bye? She said bye. She sent you a text. You weren't responding. You weren't coming home. You weren't answering her messages. How's she supposed to say bye, Ford? How's she supposed to say bye? You haven't been home and you haven't been responding to her text. I don't know how you think that translates to me not stressing out my pregnant baby mama, because I guess she's not your girlfriend. I don't know. But that has got to be, listen, that would stress me out if I was having that kind of an argument with my boyfriend and I won't pregnant. I can only imagine the pregnancy added to it. And she was like, "What you talking about? Like, you ain't been home and you not talking to me. What you mean?" And Ford was like, "Listen, I just feel like right now it's best that, maybe it is best that we have our own separate space. I want to, get a paternity test, and I just need to establish paternity so that way I can, get my rights, and petition for my rights." And she was like, "This what we doing? Like, now we questioning whether you the baby daddy?" Like, what? And he was like, "No, I'm not questioning that. I'm just saying that I've read up on it, and this is what I have to do to establish my legal paternity rights so that I can do what's right, and we can, be the best co-parents in case this don't work out." Well, clearly this not working out. I don't think it's an in case at this point. Now, if I were, baby mama, I think I might feel some kind of way, because I'd be sitting there like, so you don't have time to read the penal code on baby daddy rights in the state of Illinois, but you ain't had time to return a text. Like, that's how my mind will be thinking. Then Ford gonna have the nerve to say, "Well, you don't have to move out, I'll move out." She done packed up the whole damn apartment. What you mean you don't have to move out, I'll move out? She has packed all of her shit. Oh, she leaving. Because them 2 guys in the truck, they still waiting to load up the rest of her stuff. Don't play like vision, that, oh, I'm gonna be, what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, I'm gonna be Prince Charming and let you keep the apartment and I'll find somewhere else to live. Boy, you done already moved out. You've been living in an apartment for the last however many days. You might as well just come pack a bag. What? Child. I said, I know you're not sitting here trying to act like you really. Anyway. So Drea tries to have a conversation with Charmaine and let her know, "Listen, let me help you out. Like, you don't have to do this all by yourself." Charmaine is like, "Yeah, we got the tattoo convention coming up, and I've never filled out all this paperwork before." Pause. Chicago Inc. Chicago, Inc. So we just gonna forget about that whole season where Charmaine fucked up the paperwork for the convention in Vegas. Remember when they was in Vegas with this whole, that's where the whole rumor started with Charmaine and Van and Don to begin with. We're gonna get to that in a second. That's where the whole rumor started. Remember, they supposed to have went to Vegas to do this convention, and Charmaine had screwed up the paperwork, and so everybody couldn't tattoo. You don't remember that? Oh, y'all forgot that part of the storyline. So really, what Charmaine should have said was, "I never filled it out correctly." But I guess I'm just the only one that remembers that. Okay. Miss Kitty is flirting with old boy from last season over in London. I don't know if he coming back or they just decided to let us know that Miss Kitty kept in touch with him. Now, she said that that is not her London bae. All I know is she answered his FaceTime call and he was sitting there shirtless, looking all scrumptious like he was ready for their late night, phone call. But he said he would teach her how to tattoo and he was going to ride her hard. That's what he said. Well, his words, not mine. Those are his words, not mine. Anyway, next thing you know, Don done showed up down to the shop to invite Charmaine to come to his opening of his gym. And he said, listen, it's been a while. It's been a long time coming for me to come down here and see Charmaine down at her shop. I just felt like we both needed space. We still needed to heal. And, of course, they gave us all the flashbacks of what happened between Don and Charmaine. Long story short, Don had lied about Charmaine hooking up with Van. And it became a whole situation. And it was a whole thing. And Charmaine ain't really fucked with Don ever since, right? And he was like, I really want you to come, want to put the past to the past and move forward. You come hang out with the crew, yada, 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 boo, boo, boo. Charmaine was like, oh, I think that's sweet. I think that's cool. Okay, okay. They did bond a little bit over her dad being sick. Because Ashley's mom was sick and they went through that. And he said, that's, you sounded a lot like, Ashley when she was going through what she was going through with her mom. And then he was like, because, Charmaine was saying that she was sending her dad home because by his request, he wanted to do hospice at his house in New Orleans. And so she was saying she's going to honor his request, but at the same time, it's hard because right now he's right here. She's close to him. Whereas sending him to New Orleans, that's a whole situation in itself. But they bonded over that. So she goes home to tell Meek. Neek, her husband, Don came to invite me to his gym opening. I thought that was really sweet. Nick was like, it ain't sweet. Hell nah. This man, he lied on you. On national TV, he tried to put a body on you. He fucked with our family. Nah, that ain't cool. Like, nah, no, nope. And so Charmaine was like, damn, okay, all right, well, guess we ain't going to the gym opening. Okay. And it don't even matter because the gym opening didn't happen because somebody had tested positive for COVID and Don had to postpone. And of course, he was upset. He called Ryan. Ryan was like, oh, welcome to the world of home ownership and COVID. Like that is what we deal with. Okay. In the meantime, Ford down to the shop doing tattoos. He don't want to talk about it. Ryan trying to talk to him, get him to open up. He was like, nope, I don't have nothing to say. All I got to say is, it is what it is. I'm going to try to just ride it out till my baby get here. And I'll figure out what my next move is. And I'm going to just have to make my next move my best move. That's pretty much what had happened. So y'all let me know what y'all think. And drop it in them comments. Peace.